Hello, everyone. Hello, big, beautiful world. Thank you for joining me in the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sophia, and I am so pleased to be here with you. If you are watching this live, give us a shout out, say hello, let us know where in the world you are and how you're feeling. This is an EFT session, an emotional healing class on how to use emotional freedom techniques, EFT tapping, and your own two hands to clear pain and stress and fear, anxiety, depression, all kinds of trauma patterns from your body. It's super easy, really effective, and I'm so grateful to be the person supporting you right now. It feels really good to be here with you and to connect with you emotionally around this big, beautiful world that we're sharing. So thank you for taking your time to join us. I'm going to say hi in the chat to a few names. And there are thousands of people. We are broadcasting on 10 platforms right now. So this message is going out all over the world, including on Unify's beautiful platform. And thank you, Unify. You're doing such a brilliant job for this world. I support you wholeheartedly. All right, I'm seeing some familiar names and some new names. Rosina from Detroit, Claudia in Canada, Nancy in Houston, Tracy in Canada, Gregory in California, Tony M in Jackson Hole. I see Josephine in Venice, California, Isabella in Phoenix, Diana in Bellingham, Washington. Hello, hello, beautiful beings. So many people chiming in. It's hard to read it all. It's coming in quick. I'm seeing someone saying, Caleb, it's a birthday tap party. Tori Ben and So a tapping party, if you didn't know, is when more than one person jumps into one of these videos, either live or in the video library, and taps with the people close to them. It's a bonding way to use this time to clear and open our hearts to each other. All right. So EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, stands for, Emotional Freedom Techniques is abbreviated to be EFT, also called tapping, because we're basically percussively tapping on the meridians of our body in a certain pattern, although you can do that pattern really in any order, but I'm going to teach you a pattern to help you anchor that in your body. And then we're going to use this time together to actually work on an issue that you have so you can see for yourself if you get any movement and any traction on that issue. I have a feeling you're going to be pleasantly surprised. This has been scientifically researched for over 25 years in over 60 universities. People are clamoring for this information. As a matter of fact, I'm now working with 2 doctors to roll this out to all of our healthcare workers in the next 2 weeks. We're putting out a free course and receiving donations to help make that happen. We hope to support millions of healthcare workers right now in how to deal with the trauma that they're going through. So you're going to be ahead of the curve. All right, so first, I'm going to teach you the tapping points. Basically, these are part of Chinese medicine. This is a meridian-based self-healing technique that helps you process stored stress from your nervous system. And what that means, stored stress is information in your memory banks / data in your body. So we hold information not just in our thoughts and in our feelings, but we hold it cellularly. And the cool thing about tapping is that it's somatic processing, which means that your body is actually discharging old bits of data and it's coming out of your body. Now, I'm just going to warn you before we actually get into the tapping part that off-gassing stored stress from your nervous system may vary, and here are the ways that it could occur for you or some of you. Yawning is really common, laughing, burping, tingles of energy, weird little pains rolling through the body, little shivers, feeling like the room suddenly changed temperature, either got really warm or got cooler. Also, suddenly having flashes of memory just rolling through your mind as all this data is processing and reorganizing. And what's happening is we're tapping these meridians and we're calling up this data, is that we're bringing empathy into the situation. And usually that's the missing piece. Usually the reason that that memory is still active inside you and maybe even looping and causing recurring feelings and recurring situations is because that piece inside you is still looking for the healing it missed early on, which was some version of understanding, acknowledgement, validation, empathy, compassion. So what's cool about your brain is it doesn't really know about who is giving it the empathy, and the person who knows your story the best is you. So you're most qualified to give yourself that empathy. And when you give yourself empathy for 30 to 90 seconds in a certain area, it makes a tremendous difference in allowing your nervous system to finally release. When your nervous system releases, your body releases. And you'll feel the stored stress coming out of you. Your neural networks literally pull apart. You reframe it, rewire that space inside your brain the way you would prefer it to be, and that will be your new operating system. That's a lot of information. I'm going to give you one more piece of information and then we're going to jump into the actual practice. In the top of your head, there's a gland called the hypothalamus. When you tap on it, you're stimulating it to produce chemical compounds in the brain itself, neuropeptides. Now, you're always using this gland. Every time you have a thought, every time you have a reaction, every time you have a fear, this gland in the top inside of your brain, it's about an inch down, is secreting chemical cocktails into your blood. This is what we call emotions. Now, those emotions are important because they go into your bloodstream and they get delivered to every cell. That information, that chemical compound, that comes from your perception, meaning your eyes, your ears, your senses are pulling in this information, and it's telling your body chemically how to react to your environment. If you feel like you're under attack from your environment, the cells are being told, hey, it's not safe right now, shut down, hold back, and the cells react like a person. If I don't feel safe, I don't feel like having a nice relaxing dinner. I might not feel like eating at all. It certainly isn't time to start reproducing, right? When you're feeling like you might be attacked, you're not feeling pretty sexy. And it certainly isn't time to do any housekeeping, meaning the cell doesn't want to let go of toxins, take out the trash, reproduce, and heal, meaning that you're replacing old dying cells or sick cells with new cells. So this is why processing your feelings helps you boost your immune system, because it gives this gland new information saying, I'm actually safe right now. And if you're watching this video, you're probably safe right now. So letting your body get the update, I'm safe, getting the body to listen to, I have compassion, I have understanding, I have love, I have empathy. Putting that into the mind on whatever topic you're working on will actually discharge and let you move forward, elevate your emotional body, which allows your body to have more electricity in it. Your cells actually work on electricity. When you have more electricity, you have more currency, more higher vibration in your body, and that actually keeps you happy and well, because most pathogens and bugs operate on a lower voltage. So when you have a lot of electricity, a lot of joy, a lot of happiness in your body, it's actually killing bugs. Isn't that cool? Who knew that we were that powerful? So now I'm going to teach you the tapping points, and we're going to do that very quickly. Then I'm going to ask you the core causes questions to help you get underneath your issue, meaning drop down and really penetrate into your subconscious. And then we're going to tap on whatever that material brings up for you. So tapping along with me on these meridian points. Now each point does something different. Bladder, tapping the temples, gallbladder, tapping the front of the cheeks, stomach, tapping under the nose. This is the conception vessel. It deals with the energy that runs up the top of your head and down the back of your spine to your tailbone. Tapping under the lips. This is the conception vessel in Chinese medicine. It's the line of energy that goes down the front of the body and wraps around to your pubic bone. The chest has multiple stripes of energy that go down it, and these meridians aren't just laying along your skin. They're actually weaving in and out of your body, wrapping into bones, into teeth, into glands, into your eyes. They're like wires in a house. They go all over the place and sometimes to multiple rooms. Even if it's labeled kitchen, it's actually the hallway and part of the bathroom too. The next points are down at the bottom of the front of the ribs. I'm going to stand up so you can see these points. So front of the rib cage, bottom of the ribs, where your ribs jut out the most in front. Tapping there on the hill of the ribs. Side of the ribs, you can cross your arms and tap the side seam of your body, nipple height, or you can use the back of your knuckles to tap the side of your body. If you were wearing a bra, it's where your bra strap goes across. Next point, inside of the wrist. So flip your hand towards the sky and tap the wrist bone. It's on the little finger side of the hand. This bone moves when you move your hand. Tapping there, that's a heart point. Tapping the side of the thumb, right at the edge of the thumbnail. Put your hand like you're going to karate chop something. Tapping the index finger, same place. Middle finger, same place. Flipping around, bottom of the fourth finger. Give yourself a nice deep breath. And exhale with a nice soft open jaw. You're going to get used to breathing deeply and with a nice relaxed mouth, letting a little sound come out as you breathe, because that's going to help you process stored energy and stored memory from your body. Tapping the little finger, this is a heart point. Tapping the side of the hand, this is connected to the colon. And final points, tapping the top of the head, back of the skull, releasing the amygdala, which is that place in the front of the brain that gets stressed, these little almond-shaped glands in the front of the head that can click back into place when you're back in safety. Good job. That was really quick, but we're going to go through those points again and again. So if you're just joining us, you didn't miss anything. We're going to repeat those points. So EFT does 3 things at once, and I think this is why it's so very powerful. You're doing body, mind, and you could say soul at the same time, meaning I'm using my physicality. I'm actually tapping into the meridian lines. The second thing is I am directing my consciousness and honoring what's actually happening inside of me, mentally taking time to listen to myself. And the third thing is putting the emotion of care, empathy, love, acceptance, maybe even self-forgiveness into that mix. And when you put a higher frequency emotion into that mix, watch what happens in your neurology and in your physiology. So you can't really separate body, mind, and spirit. You're all one package. And this process will connect all of those pieces at once and help you move things. I also want to say, if you're here in the circle and not just watching on Instagram or Facebook, you will see in the top of the chat a little gray text that says handouts. In that section are question and answer videos. They're really quick, so if you get confused and you need an answer, there should be some videos pre-done for you. And also there's a map of the tapping points and some other resources and information for you there. If you're watching live on Facebook, I strongly suggest that you click the link and sign up so that you get an invite to next week's circle, because believe it or not, we do this every week and the theme is always something different. So this is your lucky day. Also, I just want to say, if you know people in the medical profession who are really struggling right now, doctors, nurses, people that work in hospitals, when we get our course together, you can send it to them and it will be free for them. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to send you into what I call the Core Causes Survey. You'll see a button pop up. For those of you on Facebook, you will see a live screen moving through about 15 questions. Now, you don't have to have an answer to each of these questions, but each of these questions is designed to take you deeper into your subconscious, basically going down into the basement, looking through the boxes of like, what is all this stuff down here that my house is sitting on, my life is built on, and do I want to keep it? And is it possible that my reactions up here, out in the world and up on the surface and in my physical body, have something to do with all this stuff that I packed away to save for later when I had time and then later never came, and all of this stuff is sitting there feeling heavy? So what we're going to do is gently go down, take a look around, and you're going to get to aim this topic of peace and power into a part of your life where you're either not feeling peaceful, and I can really guess where that might be for many people right now, or not feeling powerful. Now, warning, don't try to clear your whole life with this one tapping session. I actually have hundreds of these videos. Right now, we're offering it for free for some indefinite period of time until we're all through this big thing that we're dealing with. So I want you to know that you'll have access to a video library and you can go through different topics. So keep it simple. If there was one thing that I could help you feel more peaceful about or become more powerful in, what would that be today? And that will be your experiment with this session. With that, I'd like my tech guys to please roll the core causes questions. I will see you back in 5 minutes. Okay, beautiful beings, you ready to rock it? So in that core causes survey, I asked you to pick an issue, look at how you felt about it, and self-assess on a scale of 1 to 10 how intense you think this issue is for you. And now we're going to begin to tap. So when I say this issue, I want you to plug in the blanks with your issue, these feelings, and say your real feelings, okay? Here we go. Massaging the front of the chest. So find your collarbones, drop down 4 to 6 inches, give a light massage. And let's begin. Repeating after me, even though a part of me has an issue with, and say what your issue's about. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. I accept this part of me, or I'm open to accepting this part of me that's really struggling right now. Big deep breath. Tapping the temples. This part of me feels overwhelmed and unhappy. Big deep breath. Tapping the front of the cheeks. This part of me feels so stressed out. Big deep breath. Tuning in to the part of you that's feeling very affected by this issue. Tapping under the nose. This issue, and then say what your issue is again. Name it. Okay, tapping under the lips. I give myself permission to feel into what's going on here. Tapping the front of the chest. Big deep breath. There's a lot of, and then say what the strongest negative feeling is there for you. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's anger, maybe it's depression. And say it again 3 times. There's a lot of, and say that same feeling again. Say it again. There's a lot of. And one more time. There is a lot of. Tapping down to the front of the ribs, bottom of the rib cage, where your ribs jut out the most in front, and breathe. Big sigh. Tapping the side of the ribs, side of the rib cage, side seam of the body. I accept the part of me that doesn't like feeling this way. And just give yourself a little bit of love for how hard it's been. It's okay right now just to feel into what's really going on. Inside of the wrist, I give myself permission to notice how I'm feeling about this. Putting your hand like you're going to karate chop, side of the thumb. I give myself permission to process what's going on in my head. Big deep breath. Tap the index finger. So what are some negative thoughts or limiting thoughts that you're having regarding your particular issue? Are you thinking to yourself, I'm never going to survive this, or it's going to be this way forever? Say that limiting thought as you tap your middle finger and breathe. A part of me thinks, and say what's true for you. Tapping the bottom of your 4th finger. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even if a part of me thinks this and really believes it. Big deep breath. Tap the little finger. A part of me really believes this, feels like it's the truth, and thinks nothing will ever change. Tap the side of the hand and breathe. I just want you to accept the part of you that actually feels this way and thinks nothing will ever change. So just tuning in to that part of you that feels like, yeah, that's how it is. Let's even say it. This is how it is. This is how it is. This is how it is. Tapping the top of the head. Even though this thought started back when did this thought start for you? Maybe it was recently, maybe it was triggered recently, and this thought actually started much longer ago. Tapping the sides of the head, thinking about when this started, and the back of the skull. Tapping the eyebrow. I'm open to loving and respecting myself. Tapping the temple, even if I've been holding on to this idea for how long? Blurt out the first thought that comes to your head. 5 years, 20 years, 50 years. And breathe. Tapping the front of the cheeks. I give myself permission to release this stressful thought. Tapping under the nose. That started back when, and then say when that was for you. Tapping under the lips, even if this thought is trying to protect me. What do you think this thought is trying to protect you from? Is it from getting your hopes up? Tapping the chest. Is it from taking some kind of action? Big deep breath, trying to protect you from someone or something. Tapping the front of the ribs. I allow myself to release this stressful old thought, even if I put it here a long time ago. Tap the side of the ribs in order to, and then say why you think you brought that thought into your life and said, okay, that's how it is. Tap the inside of the wrist. I give myself permission to release the stress that this thought creates. Tap the side of the thumb and give myself a new thought. Even if this thought is so old, it's all I know. Tapping the index finger and breathing. So what would the opposite of this thought be if you wanted to put a new positive thought here? So say your limiting thought as you tap your middle hand, and then I want you to flip it around. And what would the antidote thought be? So if I thought, okay, I'm doomed or I'm under attack, it could be, I feel I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. And there's still a future for me. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I accept the part of me that's really afraid right now. Big, deep breath. Tap the little finger, going back to empathy for this negative thought. I accept the part of me that's got a lot of fear here and is shutting down. Tap the side of the hand. And there's another part of me that says, and then say your positive thought again. There's another part of me says, things are changing. Things will improve. That this too shall pass. Tap the top of the head. Part of me is remembering how to organize my own thoughts and feelings. Tapping the eyebrows, allowing myself to recover. Tap the temples and to feel good again. Big deep breath, tapping the cheeks. So let's talk about who we blame. Do we blame ourselves? Do we blame our parents? Are we blaming our government? Tapping under the nose. Maybe it's everybody. Tapping under the lips, even though a part of me is blaming, and then say who you blame, whether it's actually true or not. Keep going. Maybe there's more than one. Tapping the chest. Just acknowledging that blame that's inside of us right now. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Even if I continue to blame, and then say this list or this person or this group of people, tuning in again to where that blame is in your body. Where do you feel that energy of blame in your body? Maybe it's the same place you're feeling that fear in your body. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm releasing this energy from, and then say where you're releasing it from. My stomach, my hips, my throat, my shoulders, my head. Tapping the side of the ribs. I give myself permission to release this blame and this energy of, and then say what negative feelings are there for you. Maybe it's helplessness. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm going to do the opposite wrist this time. Tapping the side of the thumb. I give myself permission to release the stress this puts on my body, even if this blame is well placed, well deserved, totally accurate. Big deep breath. Tapping the index finger. I need my energy back. My body has other things to do with this energy. Tap the middle finger. I need it to be healthy. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I need it to be happy. Tap the little finger. I need it to stay functional. Tap the side of the hand. I give myself permission to take my energy back that's been tangled up in fear, anger, blame. Tapping the top of the head. Even though there's a part of me that doesn't want to let this go. So let's just honor that part of us that feels stubborn, that feels rebellious, that has some resistance to processing this, to letting it go, or to changing our minds at all. Tapping the eyebrows. So let's just think it through for a second, talk it through. Tapping the temples. If I let this go, tap the cheeks. These parts of me that are hurting. Tapping under the nose. What do you think would happen if I let it go? Tapping under the lips. Do you think somebody would get by with something? Do you think that somebody or you wouldn't learn the lesson that needs to be learned? Tapping the chest. What would happen if I let this go? From every cell in my body. Ask yourself 3 times as you tap your chest, what would happen? Tapping the front of the ribs. What would happen? Say it out loud. And breathe. Tapping the side of the ribs. I give myself permission to release this toxic stress and these old memories. Tap the inside of the wrist. All this information that's clogging me up, depressing me. Tap the side of the thumb, making me feel sad. Big deep breath. Tap the index finger. I give myself permission to release this energy in the form of these memories. So let's go into a couple of memories. Maybe you remember when this really hit you, or you remember this formative moment where something just clicked and something kind of shut down. So I want you to think about that moment. Tap the middle finger and breathe. I want you to take 30 seconds and describe in detail as much as you can about this moment in time. Keep breathing and tapping as you talk. Tapping the bottom of your fourth finger, keep talking. Tapping the little finger. And that's when I felt what? What did you feel? Tap this side of the hand. And a part of me thought what? What did you believe was true about you or the world or other people or your situation? Tap the top of the head. It's completely understandable why I reacted that way. Tapping the sides of the head, sending yourself such compassion. How old were you? Maybe it was a few months ago. Maybe it was some years ago. Tapping the temples. What did you need? What did you need that would have made a big difference, that would have made things feel better? Did you need protection? Did you need information? Did you need love? Tapping the cheeks. I want you to send that back to this moment, this formative moment that we've been discussing. Send back what was missing. Meaning, go back into that time and be the loving, supportive parent or the loving, supportive friend or the guardian angel that's like, hey, I'm taking care of you right now. Let's go. Big, deep breath. You might even close your eyes for a second, going back to that moment and supplying what was needed. Tapping the chest as you breathe. Traveling back to that moment, giving that version of you what was missing. Tapping the front of the ribs, allowing that version of you to really receive this. To know what it's like to finally have help. To be taken care of. Tapping the side of the ribs, letting that version of you feel safe, protected, loved. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm allowing myself to receive this love now. Big, deep breath, receiving this form of love. Taking it again back through time and space to this moment. Tapping the side of the thumb and letting yourself feel that land. And what we're doing is we're creating basically a new memory, new information. Tap the index finger. I give myself permission to heal what happened completely, including what are 2 or 3 things that are still kind of sticking out there for you, including the shock, including confusion, tap the middle finger. I totally give myself permission to heal what happened, Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger to get all my energy back now, including any residual stress, pain in my body, trauma in my brain. Tap the little finger. I'm releasing this from every cell in my body. Tap the side of the hand. And any way it's affected my ability to do what? To sleep, to feel safe, to feel loved. And tapping the top of the head. I'm releasing this from every cell in my body, scanning your body for where you think that experience affected you. Tapping the eyebrows. Allowing this part of me to feel safe. Big deep breath. Tapping the cheeks to feel at peace. Tapping under the nose. To take back my power. Tapping under the lips. Giving this part of me permission now to feel at peace. Tap the chest. To come back into my power. Big, noisy breath, sending this love so deep into yourself. What would it be like to come back into your power in this area of your life? Feels good. Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to come back into my power. Tap the side of the ribs. Back into my peace. Tap the inside of the wrist. My body is getting this information. Feeling loved. Tap the side of the thumb. And supported. Big deep breath. Tapping the index finger. I'm allowing my body to remember how to feel happy. Tap the middle finger. How to feel strong. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. What peace feels like. So let's remember that for a second, because again, this is information and you're reformatting your neural networks of your brain. Tap the little finger. Tuning in. What does feeling happy feel like? Think about something that makes you really happy. Maybe it's watching the sunrise. Maybe it's watching puppies cuddle, or kids play, or flowers bloom. Tapping the side of the hand. What makes you feel peaceful? Maybe it's looking out across the ocean, or lying in the sun, sitting under your favorite tree. Maybe it's deep meditation. Maybe it's dancing. Letting your body remember what the information of peace feels like. Big deep breath, drink it in. You're teaching the cells in your body what peace feels like. Visualize it, smell it, feel it with your body. How does it make you feel when you're in that peaceful state? So good. So connected. So in love. Tapping the top of the head. I'm allowing my body to remember this feeling of peace and power. And tapping the eyebrows. My body is receiving this new information. and taking it into this old place inside me. Tap the cheeks, tuning into that old place inside you. Remember the issue that we're working on and what it led you to? I want you to breathe in this feeling of peace as if it were a scent or a light, a fragrance that you could breathe down into your body, and you're breathing this and you're putting it right into the same place. We're not trying to cover up or get rid of. We're just adding it to this place inside you that remembers something else. And I want you to bring it with so much tender compassion to this place, with so much love for how long it's been struggling, how exhausted it is, how long it's been. Maybe it's never even been allowed 1 minute of voice. So with your biggest, most kind heart, becoming that love and bringing it straight into this place that's still maybe shaking. And saying to this part of you, it's okay if you're still tense. Tapping the front of the ribs, it's okay if you still feel uncertain. And just accepting whatever's there. Tapping the side of the ribs, it's okay if you never want to turn loose of the rest of this ever, ever, ever. Now that may sound kind of crazy, but I want you to give yourself permission to hold on to this for the rest of your life. Watch what happens. Let's say it out loud. It's going to be wild. Ready? I give myself permission to hold on to this remaining, and then say exactly what's still there for you. Feeling of attack or grief. For the rest of my life. What just happened? Did you turn loose of it another level? Maybe completely? You're like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. Tap the side of the thumb. I give myself permission to release any remaining sadness, rage. Big deep breath. Tap the index finger, fear. Tap the middle finger, or need to stay shut down on any level. Due to this old issue and everything it's related to. Everything it's related to. Come on. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger, big deep breath. We're going for it. Oh, I'm remembering who I am. Tap the little finger. I'm remembering how to love myself. Tap the side of the hand. I'm remembering what I'm here for. Tap the top of the head. I came here to help bring love and peace to this world. Tap the side of the ribs, head, the back of the head. Tap the eyebrows. I came here to help empower my people. Tap the temples with my example. Tap the cheeks to share compassion. To share this world with my human family. Tapping under the lips in a way that works for all of us. Tapping down to the chest. It's possible. We're learning to rebuild this world from deep inside of ourselves now. Big deep breath. What would happen if we all cleansed the past out of our bodies? If we cleanse the cultural conditioning and the suppression, the sexism and the racism, the self-hatred, the cringing. What if we purged that and came out of this connected, clear, aligned with love, remembering our essential nature and our soul's purpose? Tap the inside of the wrist. It would be a revolution. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm creating a revolution. Participating in the evolution of our species. Tap the index finger, doing my part to forgive myself. Tap the middle finger, to forgive my human family. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger, to forgive all my relations. And that means that those we've had relationships with through space and time, our relatives, wherever that takes you to, sending a huge wave of forgiveness to purge this from the nervous system with the only thing that can clear it, which is great love and compassion. Tap the little finger, big deep breath, sending that love straight to you and through. One more time, straight to you and through. One more time to all our relations, starting with our relationship to ourselves. Sending this love for who we've been and how we've been. Tapping the chest and breathing. Now we're coming to the end of this circle. I want to know how you're feeling now. Drop that into the chat. Think about that issue that you had when we started. You gave it a number, possibly, of intensity. Maybe it was a 10. What do you think it is now? Drop it in the chat and let me know how you're feeling. For those of you watching this on replay, tuning in, how are you feeling? I'm going to read some of the chat as it comes in. I have a few more good things for you here, so stick with me. Micah says, wowza. Rosemary says, pretty good. A 7 down to a 2. That's massively different. Meredith says, I'm at a 4. I feel really calm. Trish says, an 8 down to a 1. I feel hopeful. It's coming in so fast. Claudia, a 6 to a 2. Danielle, an 8 to a 1. Was an 8, says Mary, now a 3. Was feeling tense, but now beautifully moved, says Tara. Marcy says, time flew. I'm amazed. A 10 to a 0. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you to the people in Africa who have been writing in. Thank you to the people in Australia. There's so many Australians here right now. Thank you to the people all over Europe, in Germany. I see you. I feel you. I love you. I want you to know that we do this every week. And right now, it's completely free. Don't ask me how I'm going to keep it going, because I don't know. I'm going to ask you to donate if you can. If you can't, donate your love. Donate your energy to this world. That's actually the most important thing. And my truth is, I know that if I give to you, that I'm giving to we, and giving to we is giving to me. And that somehow, when we all get that and we take care of each other, there is enough for all of us. That we are entering into an economy of generosity. That we're going from scarcity to generosity. We each have something valuable to share, something valuable to teach, something valuable to make, and something that we need to receive. And we all have enough to take care of each other. So if you can donate to the circle, I deeply appreciate it. Sign up for the circle. Send people this link wherever you found it. And let's grow this circle. We have 1,000 people in this circle right now, and the platform can hold 10,000 at a time. My goal is to let this ark be what it is. I built it before it started raining, and then I figured out why it was so important. And now there is a loving place for us to hold our world in our hearts and hold ourselves with such compassion as we all go in, so we can come out into our real world that we're creating. I believe that only happy, healthy people can create a happy, healthy world. And that if we want the world out there to change, that this is the only way we can do it. From deep inside of us, from the best parts of us, healing those tender inner children. I also know that as we free ourselves, our world will follow. It has to. So if you're done being bullied by the fear zone out there, then our peace comes from holding our truth, holding our sky up and saying, this is actually how it's going to be, because I said so. And because that's what actually feels right and true and good. So thank you for listening to all of that. Thank you for sharing your love with me. I feel you, and I am here for you, and I love you. And I don't even want to let you go tonight. I'm going to send you off with a huge hug. Thank you again for donating your time, your energy, and whatever excess financial resource you have right now. And I'm going to also leave you with one of my favorite songs from one of my favorite bands. You can find them on Spotify. If you can get their albums, I think you'll find them in Bandcamp or CD Baby. They're called Ma Muse. And the song I'm leaving you with today is called We Shall Be Known. This is the song I put on my phone as an alarm to wake me up. And I hope this anthem takes you back home to yourself every time you hear it. Thank you, human family. I look forward to seeing you in the circle.
It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.